Hey, it's Felix here again, and I believe you are doing great watching this video. Yeah, a couple of people have reached out to me asking how possible, or if it is possible, for them to recover the Default VPC in their account. Of course, you know that when you create a new AWS account, a Default VPC has been created for you automatically. And this default VPC allow you to, create AWS resources without having to, go through the stress of the process of creating a new VPC. So there, for some reason, or sometimes accidentally, you might get the default VPC removed or deleted from your account. And sometimes you might need to do something very quickly. You just want to launch an EBS volume, or just quickly want to spin up an EC2 machine, and you don't want to go through the process of creating a VPC, a subnet, route table, and all that. This is what default VPC will enable you to accomplish. So it is very important, even though in the production environment, most often than not, it is being deleted. No, the security team most of the time will ask you to delete the default VPC. But especially in a demo account or in any account that you use to learn or to practice, it is important to to have a default VPC. So the question is, if I delete this VPC, can I recover it? And the answer is yes. If you have mistakenly delete your default VPC, you can, of course, recover it. And that is what we are going to do in this video. It's going to be a very short video. Now, one thing I wanted you to know first is default VPC is created by region. Every region has a default VPC. Yeah, in this very account that you have on the screen, I have actually deleted all my VPC and I just left one behind. So I am in the North Virginia region now, and I can see I have a default VPC. If I switch over to, let's say, the Ohio region, if you see my Ohio region, there's no VPC found. And let me check one more region again. If I go to my US West 1 region, let us see. Um, Also, I have no VPC. So in fact, I actually use a script. I ran a script to remove all the VPC across all the region. I'm going to show you. I can do a video on that one to show you if you are in the production environment and you need to remove the VPC from all the region. Of course, it's going to be very tedious if you have to go to each region and delete them manually. So there's a script that you can run and it's going to remove all the VPCs across the region. So I have done that in this account, but I still have one left that I covered in the North Virginia region. So what we are going to do now is we are going to go ahead and delete this VPC. But before we delete it, it is important to know that the VPC is not just standing alone. It's standing along with some other associated resources. So if you are working on a default VPC, there's a default subnet that are created along with it. You can see it. It is what 6 subnets are created along with it, and you can see that they are all attached to the default VPC. As you can see them here, they are all attached to default VPC. Also, there's a route table that is also created. If you see, this is the route table, and if you look at it at the end here, it is also attached to the what? The default VPC. If you also go to internet gateway, there's also an internet gateway, and you can see that it's what? Also connected to the default VPC. So it lets you know that this default VPC comes with some resources created along with it. So if you see the default VPC, and how will you know it's a default VPC? If you slide to the other hand, of course you can see the CIDR, and away from the CIDR you can see from here under um the um the default VPC tenant, you can see default VPC. Yes, This shows that the VPC is default created by AWS. So we are going to go ahead now and we are going to delete this VPC. So I've selected it. This is it before. I've selected it and we are going to go ahead and delete it. So you go to action and you go to delete VPC and it's going to show you every other resources that is going to be deleted along with it. Look at this and I said the following 7 resources will also be deleted permanently and cannot be recovered later. So this is what it's saying, that if you delete the VPC, all these resources, internet gateway and the subnet will be deleted along with it. And of course, look at this statement, cannot be recovered later. You'll be surprised when I told you that it can be recovered. Yeah, what it's just saying is that the exact one that is removed here might not be the one that's going to be returned, but of course you will see that the CIDR block and every other thing remains. And I'm going to show you something before I delete it. Look at the CIDR block. The CIDR block for the default VPC is what? 172.31.0.0/16. Just put that in your mind. 172.31.0.0/16. And you can use at some other thing here. Look at the DHCP 92D, that's what hence it, the route table and all that. So we'll go ahead now and go to action. I'll click on delete VPC. I will acknowledge and I will type delete default VPC and I'll paste it here and I will delete. So it's going to take a few seconds to complete. And now the default VPC is successfully deleted. So I'm going to refresh. And when I refresh, we should not have it. You can see the VPC is gone. Let me go back to my VPC. Okay, I go back here and I refresh my console, and you can see here from VPC here. You can see North Virginia is a 0. You can see 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Not all everything has been what? Deleted. If I click on VPC, and you can see it says what? No VPC found in this region. Look at that region, the North Virginia region. So how can we recover this VPC? Very simple. You just go back to the same console, go to action, and you will see create default VPC. It's as simple as that. So there is an option there for you to create default VPC. So you click on it, create default VPC, and you can read along. It told you what resources will be created. It said we will create default VPC with a default subnet, availability zone, internet gateway, and route table. They will all be created for you. And if I click on create VPC, and in a few seconds, you go to get the VPC back. And if I go to my VPC, you can see it. The VPC is back. And look at the insider block. Can you remember? It is what? 172.31.0.0/16. And you can see everything. Remember, the DHCP was 92D. And look at the route table and every other thing. Now you have your default VPC back. And I always like to label it, for easy identification. I always like to label it. So I just call it default VPC, and it's easier for me to identify it when I create other VPC. So this is how easy it is for you to recover your VPC, and you can do the same across every other region that you do not have it or that you have deleted it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please, if you do, go ahead and subscribe to this channel, like or comment. If you have any question, you can ask it, and I will do my best to answer the question as soon as possible. Please try this in your environment, delete, and try to recover it, and let me know what your experience is. This is a very short video, just like I've said, and I hope to see you in another video. Peace.